All right, we go to the big segment of the week. We're doing an all-time Premier League 11. Considering there's 4 of us, I think we just do our teams, then we discuss it. We do our team, there's a big bunch, and we discuss it.
All right.
We'll go that.
Oh, you don't like it. I like the position by...
I just think it's confusing if you're listening to it.
too many of us. I agree.
I think it's
Do
just...
you reckon though? Do you reckon I can like...
We can. Everyone will remember each other's teams to a degree. Like
I think it's go... I know we're doing this on bloody thing, but I can going position by position around... I don't know. We can do it now. We'll do it your
I
way,
don't. We can do position.
You know what? Leave in the comments though. Then I'll make some.
I think we just rattle them off, and then like you end up like you obviously know the names, so then you kind of forget the differences. Yeah, we'll go.
Next week we can change it then if the fans want it. Go with your team then first.
Schmeichel in goal.
Yeah.
Walker right back. Vidic and Terry.
Okay, yeah.
Cole at left back.
Who left back?
Cole.
Okay, Cole. Okay. I thought you said someone else. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
For some reason I heard
Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes.
I heard like Glenn.
Wait, does someone
Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes.
Right.
That's goals, yeah.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Rooney and Bobby Charlton.
That brother Bobby, eh? Okay.
Fair play. Premier League, brother.
So I've gone like...
Very English bias in that midfield.
Is there anyone not
Brexit.
English? Or Vidic? And Michael and Thierry Henry, that's it. Yeah.
Like, when I made this team, you know, because obviously all the ones on the internet already, you see like the other guys do this, they do all the old
Yeah,
gigs.
I went modern with mine. I feel like.
Yeah, I've
got
gone modern
some
as well,
modern.
because I'm not going to sit here and act like I watched like...
Bobby Charlton kickball.
Bobby kick ball, mate. No, kick the bucket, mate. I watched Bobby kick the bucket.
Oh my god. That's one of the best lines yet. That's one of the best lines you had so far. It's come to the 50th, but we've got it.
So, goalkeeper, I had the exact same back five as you. I had Schmeichel,
really?
yep. Cole. I changed my tune on Rio, so I've gone Vidic of the United too.
Yeah.
Terry, then Walker.
Right.
Walker, I think, is overgone.
Yeah,
Gary Neville.
Yeah.
Then centre mids, I've gone Vieira, Lampard, and KDB.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no, I've just realised no United mentioned there in the midfield. And then I've gone Henry, Mo Salah, and Harry Kane.
Nah.
I know
So,
you
now I'm going to make my case for all those. We'll let you do
There's
it.
in due course, but no, I like it. You've been
Alright,
bold with it.
There's no wrong answer. Well, what do you mean there's no
Yeah,
case?
yeah.
There's no wrong answer.
There's
Every
no-
answer
yeah.
so far is valid.
Yeah,
You can
You
debate
can
it.
definitely back that up. You definitely back those because I had Harry Kane initially, by the way. All right, I had Schmeichel, Cole, Vidic, Van Dijk, and Walker as my back five.
Schmeichel, Cole.
Van Dijk.
Cole, Vidic, Van Dijk, and Walker.
Van Dijk. No.
Are you actually a Liverpool supporter?
He's had 2 good seasons.
No, so
He's got McAllister in his midfield as well.
I got McAllister there.
Van Dijk is wrong.
Yeah,
That is
the
wrong
Van
answer.
Dijk at his best. But you have to do longevity.
They're not even
There's
gonna
no
win the
longevity in
league.
Van
Hold
Dijk.
on,
This is
let
where
him
I'll
go.
agree with you.
Let him cook, because they're not even going to win the league this year.
But I'll actually speak to the Liverpool supporter there because
let
Van
him
Dijk.
talk.
Yeah, you go.
Let him
Finish
do
your
his
team
team.
first.
Oh,
and then
no,
we'll go.
okay.
Yeah.
Roy Keane, Lampard, De Bruyne, Henry, Shearer, and Ronaldo.
Okay, nice.
That's my front three.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I've got Schmeichel, Walker, Vidic, Terry, and Cole. I've got Vieira, Gerrard, and De Bruyne. And I've got Salah, Ronaldo, Henry.
So you put Ronnie up top.
Ronnie up top.
I wanted to do that, I wanted to do that. But
I didn't have him in originally. I had Aguero, but
Yeah, Aguero's a good shout as well. Aguero's a prem. Aguero.
I just think for City he was fucking incredible. He was so good.
But if you're gonna, this is where I go back to
but
it. If you're gonna
give
go,
Haaland 2
if
more
you're
years
gonna
to be
go
better than
Kane, you have to go Shearer because
No.
they're on the same merit.
No, because like Kane's outperform. Okay, Shearer. What I think we said he's won 1 prem. Like we probably should fact check this.
Yeah. Let me just,
But he's won 1 prem at Blackburn, right? So he has some trophies, a lot more than Kane, right? But
That's an
Anything's
understatement.
more
but
than
yeah,
Shearer.
but the point is that like my Kane argument is that firstly I didn't sit on the couch watching Alan Shearer play like watching Alan Shearer tear up Arsenal every time he played in the North London derby.
The problem with this
that's
is
what.
the problem with this is, and I'm not disagreeing.
And he would have smashed the goal record. Like Kane went to Bayern.
Yeah, but he
fair
would
enough.
have. Like the problem I got with this is, and it's the same.
He would have.
And
He did it for a long enough time.
Yeah,
where it wasn't
I
a
can
one
agree.
season, one day. He did it for 10 years, and he would have smashed the goal record.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but
If that's your only argument,
the problem I reckon with your argument is, well, the Premier League XI then you're just basing off what you've watched, and we're like 20-year-old guys sitting on a couch.
No, I didn't base it on what I watched, but but I also think, you know, obviously I'm not using this to make my point. As in, you compare players based upon their era, right? Because everyone nowadays would have been better than people back then. I stand by that 100%.
Yeah.
With
That I stand by. Yeah.
So as in, that's not why I've gone like, if you put Shearer and Kane in the same team, Kane's going to be better. I just think Kane in this era, is probably more dominant of a striker in that 10-year period than Shearer was. Like, as in, I don't know. I think Kane was unmatched in goal scoring. Like he's so lethal and clinical, and he can create. You know, like he's a much more dimensional player than Shearer. I think he carried that Spurs team for 10 years, took him to a Champions League final. Like he won. I don't know how many Golden Boots he won, but he won it every year, right? Like it
was around it, yeah.
And then the only year Haaland comes in, Kane actually broke the goal scoring record. I think.
Yeah.
I just think Haaland broke it more.
Broke it more, yeah.
That's
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And look, in 10 years' time, we'll probably say the same thing about Haaland being the best, because he'll have the silverware to match it. He'll have the goal scoring
all
record
the
probably.
trophies, yeah.
But I just think that Kane, because I think the lack of trophies, and I see what you're saying. I just think he probably won't get enough respect he deserves in terms of how good he was when in the Prem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to touch on two more players. Firstly, we'll go back to the
Van Dijk debate.
The only thing I say with the Van Dijk is I'm agreeing that Van Dijk at his best, like Van Dijk in the Champions League winning season and the league winning season, was as good as any centre back that the Premier League has seen.
Probably better. No?
Probably
the best.
Yeah,
centre
probably
back
better.
here,
But
in a Premier League.
what has he
ever.
done? So he did it for those 2 years, and he's come back this year. So 3 seasons, maybe 4. Would you agree with that?
I'd say 4. I'd say the year where we almost won the quad, he was very good. The year he came back from the injury.
But he wasn't a superstar. I wouldn't say that.
He was. No, he was.
Not as good as the other 3
I'm
years.
not even convinced he's the best centre back in the league this year. No, you guys can say I'm waffling, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Saliba would probably be better.
Arsenal fans have said Gabriel's been better than Saliba this year.
I think Gabriel and Saliba are a team of the season centre backs without a doubt. Like, I think Gabriel is so
Van
good.
Dijk's got to be in there.
And
so
No, I'm not disagreeing.
I hear what you're saying. I just think that the gap is like, all I'm hearing is about Van Dijk this year, because it's just Van Dijk and then Kanate or Joe Gomez or whoever you want to put next to him. The levels there are far different. Whereas you have two 23 and 25-year-olds in Saliba and Gabriel who are just so rock solid. Probably I reckon they both scored more goals than Van Dijk, in their attacking output, and I believe they're equally as solid. I know we probably have a better defensive team, structure to support them, but I never see him lose a duel. Like, these guys,
It's the same thing for about.
it's purely eye test, right? But I genuinely I can't see how the gap between Van Dijk and Saliba is that big.
no, it's not a big
Let
gap.
alone Van Dijk being, because this is supposed to be this is supposed to be his 4th year. Like, Van Dijk's back to the top, right? But it doesn't feel like there's daylight anymore when there was daylight a couple of years ago, right? Like,
Is that just the state of all of the defenders around? Like, this is not discrediting Saliba, but don't you reckon that Van Dijk, as much as Saliba has more special moments going forward, I feel like Van Dijk has so many special moments defensively, like, in terms of the stuff he does is ridiculous. I know Saliba does ridiculous things.
I just want to point out one thing. If Liverpool win the league, and it's a big if, Van Dijk wins Player of the Year. You do realise that?
why? Why does
Where's Arsenal and Declan Rice?
Well, firstly, it is a big if, and
He's been our best player in the top
If
team.
Van Dijk can make more. Is Salah?
Salah's been injured and
hasn't been
AFCON
your
and stuff.
He's
so.
missed a lot of games, but no, you're not wrong. He has probably been your best player, but that's just because I think there's a lack of I think what I was going to say to you before about the defender thing was that we were having a conversation with another Liverpool fan on Friday night, and he said how many Arsenal players get into the back four. So you tell me then who has the better back four? Because Trent's better, apparently Robbo's better, and then you put one of Saliba and Gabriel in. So who's actually playing in the better? Alisson's better. So who's actually playing in the better back four?
That isn't
Saliba or Gabriel, as in if Van Dijk is so good and he's got bums around him, he's having all these good moments.
I'm not saying he's got bums around. I just think he makes those more
is,
ridiculous moments happen. Like he does the more special things. That's what separates them.
I don't think it separates them because I just think Saliba and Gabriel do it in lesser amounts, and they both share the load that they're just not highlighted as often. That's my case. I think Van Dijk gets a lot more screen time, right? I think he does those last-ditch tackles, he slides in.
The screen time thing.
I don't think, and my point with all this is that I don't think the gap this year is as big for Van Dijk to be the player of the year, let alone the fact that I don't think he's the all-time CB that probably, I don't think he has enough to merit that.
Well, touching on that, so whether he's better than Saliba or not.
Yeah.
So we're going off 4 seasons, okay? And how good he's been off 4 seasons. You got to look at the names around him. So, like... Terry was in the
10
first 10 plus seasons probably.
Like 15 years.
Ferdinand, 10 plus seasons. Vidic, 7 Premier Leagues. So he would have had to do it for 10 seasons as well. Company even in and around that.
Yeah, so Company's in the conversation.
So Company's in the conversation.
Yeah,
he would have done 8 seasons at least.
I think Tony Adams won 3 Premier Leagues.
Yeah, so it's not even about who winning the Premier League. It's about your longevity. You can't bring VVD when he was at Southampton. Even some of the seasons at Liverpool, he's had a whole year out with injury. He's had 4 seasons.
He's in the discussion.
Yeah,
if he did what he did though for 8 years, fair play.
I don't know. Well, and this is the one time I have to yo-yo on what I normally go on, but I just think he's so one of a kind. There's no one like Virgil van Dijk. And it'll be a fact of, he might never make it, but when he retires, and we keep saying this whole when he retires stuff, he'll be like, oh man, maybe he wasn't 8th, maybe he was in the top 4. I'm thinking about Terry, Vidic, Virgil van Dijk, and Rio for me. I have Vidic next to him. Well, Terry I originally had, but I swept him out.
I know this is Terry was a centre back in the least goals conceded.
I know. Terry was in initially. I pulled him out.
Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah. I got a genuine question then. Would you then say, I think the problem with your argument is that's like then saying R9 was the best player of all time. Yeah, it's the exact same argument.
Yeah, no.
But I mean that I've gone away from longevity for this pitching because I feel so strongly about Virgil van Dijk. I've put him in. I've ignored everything else.
So you've just based it on peak.
When have you seen Virgil van Dijk, and will we ever see a Virgil van Dijk?
See, I'm agreeing with you because if you were to do pick a player based off their best season,
I'm admitting that everyone around here, other than for Virgil van Dijk's the elephant in the room. That's what we're discussing.
Is your longevity part of how good you were?
Absolutely, but this is so unique and so.
So you think it's that much better then?
I think the peak of him
is that much better.
That's why I've got him in Vidic. They're peaks for me. Those 2 peaks for me are the best peaks for me.
16 goals.
Yeah, so is the peak of him then way better than any other centre back?
I think him and Vidic's peaks are the best peaks.
But how much better? Because it needs to be a lot better.
That's what I've got him in. He's a lot better. You don't have Essien in front of you. I'm not trying to downturn Terry's one.
Not this again. We just. We're comparing he doesn't have Essien, but he's got
Alexis McAllister.
McAllister is your favourite player in the world.
Exactly.
And then
but he's not a 6, is he? He's not got Declan Rice or Rodri in front of him.
He's got the best right back in the world. You can frame the narrative the way you want. I know it's not a holding DM.
And it's not Cole at left back.
How many?
And it's not Petr Cech behind you. It's
Alisson.
It's different. It's defensively orientated team. A Jose Mourinho defensively orientated team with arguably one of the best holders we've had in the Premier League in that midfield there.
How many goals do you reckon you've conceded this year?
Oh, I don't know. A couple more than you.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a clue with the number.
Probably 25 at least.
Yeah. 25. More than that.
How many have Arsenal conceded? It'd be a couple more.
Yeah, so we're probably talking about triples. So no matter how...
I reckon it's much more than 25.
26.
Yeah, how much have Arsenal conceded?
Yeah. 24. You bang on it.
Analytical, so I'm telling you, analytics.
No, I just think I like his peak.
No, him as a player more. I'm understanding that Van Dijk's best
is peak. Yeah, it's one. That's why we're talking about the elephant in the room. That's why it's the elephant. That's why we're discussing it.
There's no right team at the end of the day.
No, definitely not. I'm just saying that
I did have
that
Terry.
longevity.
Terry was in my
I think
team. I took him
longevity
out.
has.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason. Okay, so if you want to go on that argument though, but it's the whole reason why, like, for example, I don't have Ronaldo
No, but he
in
does
my
have Ronaldo.
list.
I do have Ronaldo.
No, I know.
He's
I know
only
that.
Ballon d'Or winner since whenever the last
Whereas
Ballon
his
d'Or.
I've
peak
changed
was-
my tune a little bit on Ronaldo. I've got Salah.
Yeah, I think in a few years' time, Salah will be in all the teams because Salah will have done it for what 10, 12 years. Where Ronaldo was.
So,
he
I
might-
don't
he might-
get that. I don't
he
get
might
that.
leave it.
That's the exact same thing.
Are you
No,
going
but
to put Salah in your team in a couple of years?
When he would, it'd be the same with. I think it would be similar with Virgil
Why
van Dijk.
does it
People would
matter when
change
he
their.
retires?
Because I think when Virgil van Dijk retired, people will be changing their tone
No,
on
but
where he
you
would
have
be.
everything in your team. You don't have Salah.
What if it's
what-
end of this year because he might leave?
No, but
Nah,
why
I still
does
don't-
it matter for Salah?
Yeah,
You
why?
You just said you might put him in your team in a couple of years when he retires. But why does it? Salah's
Yeah,
been
his
there,
peak,
done that.
and his peak
Nostalgia.
won't be as good as Ronaldo's peak. But he
That's why.
but he was
That's
had
why
longevity.
I've got Ronaldo in now because I think his peak's ridiculous. Like Ronaldo's peak's Ballon d'Or. Premier League Ballon d'Ors
But
don't
what's-
come around.
But Salah's then the same as comparing him to like a.
Do you reckon
John
Salah's
Terry
peak's
then?
Ronaldo's 2008 Ronaldo?
No, I'm saying it's not.
Yeah, okay, that's what.
So,
that's
but
what-
you're saying you're going to put Salah in.
Because when you look, it's the whole when you retired, you look back and like, oh, maybe is it more valuable? But right now, I always go Ronaldo because of 08. Ballon d'Or. No one else has done that since.
Fair enough. I just think that if you're going to go you like with the VVD, then you'd keep Ronaldo then in there forever.
I'm saying VOD is the exclusion of the rule, and I'm going to stick by it. I'm going to stand on that hill. I've been different. Like I'll continue to stand on that hill and always believe in that. Virgil van Dijk, best
What if
player.
everybody gets skinned in the next 10 games and they lose the league by like 10 points?
Well then that has to change my time because that's embarrassing.
We haven't heard enough from you. So what's your thoughts as a Liverpool fan?
On what? Van Dijk?
Van Dijk being in the.
Who do you have?
Well, I think you saw my face when he mentioned it.
Did you
I was a bit
did you have-
surprised,
did you have
honestly.
Vidic, Terry?
I had Vidic and Terry,
Yeah. Which is the
Yeah, so
normal
the
two.
same as all of us.
That's the regular two.
I've said this on the midweek podcast a couple of times, like when we did our top 10 centre backs and stuff. I put him number one, but I've said at times like his positioning and his complacency is why I can never put him up with Terry and Vidic and Ferdinand and these kind of guys. His peak is arguably the best the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah,
You know,
I
you
think
can
that
debate
Yeah, but that's a
but
great. Yeah.
but if we're basing it over, however many, like 7 years that he's been at Liverpool, however long he's been at Liverpool, there's been years where you can say, point last year he was fucking god awful last year. Kanate was miles
Kanate
better than him. There was genuine conversations about Virgil van Dijk being dropped last year because he was getting skinned every game.
Before was injured.
No, the year before we went
That's when he was
went for
good.
the quad. That's when he was
Very good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But like again, he's had probably 4 peak seasons. This one, obviously the 2 where we won the league and the Champions League, and then the fake going for the quad, but only ended up with the double. But just as I've said loads of times, I will never put him in the same conversation as a Vidic and a Terry.
But is that again because of longevity?
Yeah, and just he's
It's
had seasons where you could argue
Yeah.
he hasn't probably been a top 5 centre back in the league like last year.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
It's more on like Van Dijk's downside, as in like that he can be complacent, that he can't,
The gaps, but yeah, that's
the gap between his best and worst is far bigger
Whereas
than
Terry
Terry's
was
best
just
and worst.
Terry was that.
And also the basement, like VVD's basement, so much
Yeah.
lower than like Terry's and Vidic's
Yeah.
and all those top echelon longevity players. Right? So yeah, no, look, it's a good discussion.
What else we have different midfielders?
Salah and
You'd
midfield.
Salah.
Who were the walk-ins? We all got Ashley Cole,
Or
Yeah,
Thierry.
Or Michael?
Or
Or
Schmeichel,
Schmeichel.
yeah. Kyle
Or
Walker.
two.
Did everyone have Kyle Walker?
Yep.
All had Vidic.
Or
Well,
Vidic?
we all had Walker. That's an interesting one because it wouldn't have been.
But we've been saying this since
No,
like,
I
the
know we
start.
have. But how long? Like, what a year ago would we have all had
The
Walker?
treble probably
treble-
ticked
the
it
treble
off.
So the
ticks it off,
treble
yeah.
ticked it over.
Because Gary
Yeah.
has.
I think
boundaries.
the thing with Gary Neville, like I would have put him in as a United supporter, but just hearing a lot from you guys and other people's perspectives on it, like I think he was one of those players that was more like, don't get me wrong, he was a massive part of United's success, but he was more one of those like role players.
System.
Not saying Walker isn't. Walker
No,
probably-
Walker's definitely a role player in that team.
Yeah, but Walker has probably like done more for City than Neville has for United. I would say Neville was just always there. Like his crappiest performance wasn't that bad, but he was never like a superstar either. Would be the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Walker could create you something.
Yeah.
He changes the game.
I also just think individually, like comparing like Walker
player to player.
player to player,
Yeah.
which I said before is kind of irrelevant because you compare it to the era. But player to player in this scenario, I feel like Walker.
You'd rather go up against Gary Neville than Kyle
Yeah,
Walker.
100%. Like no debate.
Yeah.
There's
And
not
they,
many
and
like
they,
Kyle.
they probably had a slight crossover when Walker was at Spurs and Neville was at United.
Oh, I think it was 2.
I think he probably
When did
5
Neville
years
retire?
off. He went before Phil did. He retired before Phil did.
Like,
Maybe.
I reckon like
What year was that?
08, 09.
He was
Yeah.
going
Yeah, he was long
he was
ago.
early.
He
he
retired pretty
wasn't-
sure straight after the Champions
He
League.
wasn't around like 2012.
Nah,
Was it when you won the league? He retired.
the Champions League. I think maybe a
Champions
year
League?
after,
Yeah.
maybe.
That fine, yeah.
That was
don't know
that
if
was
that was his
well
last year,
before
but-
Walker. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Walker wasn't until like
Walker was playing
2013.
for
Like
what's the play by then?
2012. I think it was like 2012. Cole. I thought it
Something
might
like
have
that,
been the
yeah.
last year. I thought he was with
Maybe
Saf.
Phil Neville.
Yeah,
Maybe
Phil.
because Phil hanged on.
Genuine question: is Giggs
Yeah, 'cause-
anywhere
yeah.
near the list?
Of course, having gigs.
I'm not saying he's like in your best 11, but is he anywhere
Giggs
near?
is nowhere near my list.
He's
'cause
got
the gap between
160
Henry.
assists though.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I think
he
he's
had
very
4 in 1
underrated,
year.
isn't he?
What?
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even think of him
Nah,
Yeah, he's very
Yeah,
underrated.
Henry.
just because of Henri.
It's just like it's just so yeah.
because
But he is in the discussion.
What about
for sure.
Beckham?
No,
Gary
no,
Neville
I
was
thought
at
of him,
United.
Yeah, I thought of him, but I didn't. I wasn't
Bro,
going to put him
Beckham's
in.
iconic. Like,
Yeah,
I think yeah,
Gary Neville was at United in 2011.
he was.
yeah. So that's when he
that was
retired.
his last year. Was it? Yeah.
He was there in 2011.
I mean, when did Kyle Walker start?
'Close. Close to ball knowledge
Yeah,
expert there.
before.
Joining the intellect.
Yeah, yeah.
2010.
He was at Sheffield United, mate. He was at Spurs in 2009. Oh, hey!
Was he even fucking playing?
Yeah.
Bro was giving the balls back as a ball boy in 20.
Bro,
It was like Jaden Dan.
Bro,
Yeah,
ball
yeah, yeah.
knowledge here, because I had a feeling, bro, Walker's been
Gary
around
played
for
in
time.
2011.
Walker is 33. He's been around for years, lad.
Nah, Walker's been great.
Doesn't look like slowing down.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, ball knowledge elite there. 5 years you
Yeah, well, that was a good. That
About
was a good
time,
list.
Flynn. Fucking hell, only waited like a year. Jesus.
Oh, language.
Become
top moment,
Yeah. Who else we have? Anything different? There? What would KDB?
Yeah, all okay.
Nah.
Any of KDB?
Oh, see that nostalgia 100% there. We'll get KDB in his team
Yeah,
eventually.
you talk about 2 years' time when he's on 2
KDB
trebles.
He is the best midfielder of the Premier League.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Anyone think of Yaya Toure?
What? Am I a fan of Yaya?
Nah.
Anyone just think of him?
I thought of
Personally,
Yaya.
yes,
Yaya
but not in an
crossed
I
all
my
reckon
mind.
Lampard's the best.
That's why I've got him in.
No, I think Lampard's more of like the Yaya mold, to be honest, in terms of like
Lampard's
the
got
goal
like
scoring.
100 and
Box to box goals,
Yeah,
170
goal
goals
scoring.
as a midfielder.
Yeah, he's
I
in my
had
team.
to put Gerrard in. So.
No, but Lampard would be better than KDB.
That's tough.
But
KDB is better, but Lampard is in the team.
No, I think Lampard is better, and as that attacking more output midfielder,
oh no! Wait, as an 8 or a 10?
as both.
Well, there's no man.
Oh,
He's got more goal contributions than KDB by
I
miles.
know that, but at a 10, KDB
No, I
is
don't think
head and
it's
shoulders.
contributions by a mile.
I reckon.
I think
it
it's
is.
goals scored.
Nah, I reckon it's contributions.
When KDB
No,
has like
you keep
Aguero
talking
and
about
Haaland to pass, there's only so much you can score yourself. At a 10 though, you're not putting Lampard over KDB.
So Lampard had 177 goals, only 7 behind Aguero as a midfielder, and you guys were considering Aguero as your striker.
Well, I've got Lampard here.
Hasselbank.
What? I think KDB's got 100.
So you
Nah, I think he's got 100.
I had Vieira,
Vieira.
KDB,
Vieira's mine.
and Gerrard.
Yes, the other guy, the Irish dude.
Well, you gotta look for this.
I was debating Roy Keane
He's
and
got
Vieira.
You pick one of them. You can't pick both.
Vieira's just a fuck.
KDB's only got 65, so 110,
okay.
110 less than
How
Lampard.
about what about Lampard's assists?
So
Yeah,
K-
but it's not.
right now
not
it's
all
5
about stats,
different.
like-
Or 5 different. 100 more goal contributions.
No,
And he ain't catching that either.
he's not. But
Lampard wasn't-
You guys have done differently, but my team, you talk about the best version of a player. You want KDB at the 10, and then Lampard in
Yeah,
behind.
but
that is
Kevin-
quite
Lampard
crazy.
got 20
Lampard
goals,
has
20 assists.
Kevin De
That's
Bruyne
like-
left.
It's Kevin, yeah, but it's Kevin De Bruyne. He's playing down
Does
like
that change a bit of your...
Well, when
Score
you see the
patterns?
numbers, yeah, obviously I'm going to take into account the numbers. 110 more goals.
In
and
Mourinho
100 more
seasons
goal
as
contributions.
well, when they didn't score many goals.
Again,
Oh,
no
no.
wrong answers.
Yeah. No wrong answer. No wrong
I
answer.
mean, we're comparing the first and second best.
And then I went
basically, yeah.
Scholes. Only because I've heard everyone talk, and out of the 3, they all reckon that Scholes was and watching Scholes play, he could do something that every other midfielder couldn't do. Scholes was
Yeah,
as
but-
you said, when you talk to like Pep and stuff, he was the player that was like the Iniesta and the Xavi.
Yeah.
He was like they wanted Paul Scholes. They didn't want Gerrard. Like, obviously, they would have liked to have Gerrard.
Yeah,
on
but
that,
the
it's a-
debate's dead with it's not even. Man United and Chelsea both wanted Gerrard with Scholes and
Yeah.
Lampard in their team, and Jamie Carragher and Peter Crouch literally said in like a podcast or something, they said it's not even a debate because in training Gerrard was miles clear, and you might say it's just training, but training back then. Look at how Roy Keane speaks of training. Like he's like, if players didn't perform, they'd get fucking crucified. And like it was like,
No, I understand.
you know,
that.
you're crap.
I understand that, but everyone's spoken about Scholes as being the best of the three. To be honest, a lot of people have.
Why did
I
Man
think
United
Lampard
want
clears.
Gerrard
Yeah,
then?
it's-
Scholes
Well, you
plays-
wanted another one. Like,
I think Lampard. clears.
Why? You should only
yeah,
need
I
one.
would say Lampard clears as well, but I put Lampard, Scholes, and Gerrard.
I
I'll
think
put
Gerrard
all
and
three.
Lampard are there, and Scholes' moment again. Like you can pull.
But
that
again,
random
United
half
fans
as
will
well.
choose Scholes. Liverpool fans will choose is
No, definitely. But I think all three of them even could go.
Who was the best for England? Like
Nah,
They were all kind
Gerrard.
of-
Gerrard was the
probably
best.
Gerrard.
Gerrard was the best
for England.
Lampard has some decent, but
But-
Scholes.
No,
Lampard was second.
but
Scholes
they-
Scholes played
sucks
left
for
wing.
England.
But they all they all
Yeah.
disappointed
Scholes played
because
left
of
wing for England.
Gerrard played right mid at times. Like it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
just like, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like just another thing to add. It was just weird. None of them ever got it right. For
Yeah,
England.
I just think as the attacking midfielder, you go Lampard over KDB, and then you want 2, 6, and 8. You go Gerrard and
Yeah,
Scholes.
we
Do you
could,
have no
we could
hold?
debate it all day.
So, who's your holder? You have no holder. You have just 3 8s.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, no, it works. I'm just yeah. Wait, because then you had Verreira and I had Kane. I was surprised you didn't put Kane in. You thought you loved Kane.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Kane
you
was
didn't have Kane.
Kane was more influential on his leadership, I think, than his actual quality of playing.
True.
Would you agree with that as well? That he's,
When did Kane retire?
Oh.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I watch much Roy Kane, to be honest, man.
Roy
Mid-
Keane would have retired.
was
mid to
Roy Keane.
Yeah, he was like
Roy
mid-
Keane went
2000s,
somewhere
like-
after United. Where did he go after United?
I'm not going to act like I watch much Roy
No,
Keane.
Ferguson
Like,
kicked him out of the club.
Yeah, because he was this bloody.
Didn't he go to like Scotland or something?
Nah, so what happened was Ferguson, after a game, United played really bad, and like Keane annihilated the team in a press conference, like absolutely annihilated
Celtic. He finished at
annihilated
Celtic.
the team, and so Alex Ferguson came into the dressing room and said, "You're not playing for United ever again."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus.
mate.
And like
Fergie had him on.
Saying that to
Ferdinand
Roy
talks about all the
Keane's
time. He goes
crazy.
like, that was just like shivers through the spine. It's just like you can't mess with this bloke. Like,
Kick Beckham out.
Yeah,
kick
that's
Kane out.
crazy.
Yeah,
He's still the GOAT though.
there we go.
he just like was.
That's actually good debate. The managers one we literally have one.
Yeah,
We
had-
will have to get
Friday
all us
night.
4 of us on again
That was a good
for
one,
something
the
like
manager
that.
one.
The
Do you want to run
manager
over
one
your
is
team
good.
one more time before we jump into our best?
So Schmeichel in
moments?
goal, Cole left back,
Yeah.
2 centre backs. We got Vidic and John Terry. At right back, Walker. The 3 goats in midfield: Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes. Then Thierry Henry off the left, Rooney off the right, and Bobby Charlton through the middle.
Fair.
We didn't really touch on Bobby Charlton.
Bobby.
But it's not even go. That's my.
It's a good team. It's a good team.
That's
I've
great
got
to go to.
Schmeichel, Cole, Vidic, and Terry, and then Kyle Walker right back.
Yep.
DM Vieira with Lampard and KDB, and then Mo Salah on the right, striker Harry Kane,
I respect you putting Mo Salah in.
Yeah.
I respect you.
striker Harry Kane, and left wing Thierry Henry.
Yeah, so do you want to do yours next? You're basically
I
saying.
got Schmeichel, Walker, Vidic, Terry, and Cole. Vieira, Gerrard, De Bruyne, Salah, Ronaldo, Henry.
Yeah, so you get Ronaldo as well, yeah. So yeah, it's Michael, Cole, Vidic, Van Dijk, Walker, Keane, Lampard, De Bruyne, Henry, Shearer, and Ronaldo. There we go.